So I want to make this very clear because I'm done with the bullshit. Look what they've done to my hair. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists talking in my head. And they have to talk every second to keep this stupid telepathy technology going. And then the bitches in my fucking head are serial killers. And they've been framing people and calling them negligent and saying that they're ruining their earning potential because they're out doing drugs and like hanging out on the street like the terrorists in my fucking head aren't sitting at home trafficking them. And so with that said, I I I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, so the bitches don't want us to put any videos out saying we hear voices in our head. I mean, for me, that's been the case. They don't want me at all discussing that I hear them in my head. Plus, they've tried to traffic me out of every place that I've ever lived. They tried to ruin my mom's credit. My car broke down. They had my ex key my car. They had my the police department came and they saw like everything that was going on. Obviously the police department doesn't know what's going on with the terrorists talking in my head, but luckily there were reports, thank you God. But at that time I wasn't aware that there were voices talking in my head. I thought it was my freaking neighbors. I thought it was everything but the terrorists talking in my head. And of course, lo and behold, 3, 4 years later, it's like, oh shit, they're in my fucking head. After running around, after my car breaking down, after missing the 2% mortgage rate wave, and like the whole nine, right? They destroyed my entire life. Any opportunity I wanted to for me to go back to school, my opportunity to meet somebody and have children, to get married, to while I'm fertile, while I'm young, to any opportunity I had to any career opportunities or to build my book of business, everything, every fucking thing you could think of, they've destroyed. And then they made my hair fall out. And the bitches keep saying, you gotta go because they're getting sentenced to fucking death. And well, so they say. I mean, it's all over the internet. I mean, it's like they're saying Karen this, Karen meaning Karen's a subliminal message. That hashtag Karen, it actually it's implying Egyptian American Muslim terrorists, inhabitants of, and I'm most likely California because it starts with CAIR, it's CAIR, ENE. And so it references Egyptian American Muslims in California, terrorists, Egyptian American Muslim terrorists in California. And so it's all over everywhere. And I was able to basically boil down to understanding pretty much the nine. And I'm just like, okay, so the fucking whore bags are there. They obviously understand what's going on. So I'm like, okay, so the bitch is talking in my fucking head. Nobody knows that they're talking in my head. I sound crazy. Use mine. Please, because I'm making a video. Okay, fine, in 5 minutes. So, they're talking in my head. Sorry, my daughter is here and she wants to go shopping. And by the way, today's my birthday and all day they made me cry. And this is what they wanted to show me at 40 so that they could say, bitch, I dare you to fucking say anything or your fucking daughter is going to go bald. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists talking in my head. I want them sentenced to death. I don't think they thought that at this point that I would be well aware of what the fuck is going on. And if I did, then I think they thought I'd be too sensitive to and they would be able to traffic me once more. I think they really thought they were gonna leverage they were gonna just, in the beginning it was like all the things you've done, haha, and embarrassing me, and oh my God, the things that they did to me, right? And then hoping that this wave would cause me to be so emotional and like less involved with whatever I need to be involved with. And like just drowning in my fucking sorrows rather than thinking about how to sense these bitches to death. So, anyways, it's dawned on me while I was sitting in my room and I'm thinking, you know what? They talk every fucking second of the day. And I like I've heard it through rap songs and just like they like make references in songs like and I've been listening. I'm not like I don't fuck around. When I want to know something, I'm going to sit there and I will find you on Google Maps in your fucking car on your fucking on the road. Like that's how like legit I want to understand. Like there's no way in fucking hell you're not going to look me dead in my face and fucking lie to me, period. Now I'm not a stalker. I'm just saying I'm not. Don't think for a second you're gonna fucking pull the wool over my eyes, okay? This piece of shit talking in my head. So as I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, suck it up, Renee. Don't cry. Don't do this. Although I do anyway, but I'm not like out. Like I'm not running around. Like there's no way in fucking hell they're gonna have me running around like they did before. Um, but I'm like, okay, so there's this thing like it's almost like so the telepathy technology that that they use, the terrorists are using, okay, there are layers and securities that protect the people that are being investigated so that anybody who sits behind it can't be abused without it being obvious, okay? To I guess to an extent, or can't like the person that's sitting behind it can't traffic the person that they're investigating or their victim. Well, technically they're victims, right? In all technicalities. So, as I'm sitting there, it's like every second of the day. And so as I was listening to these different songs, I came to the conclusion that, hey, this shit times out. This is a national security surveillance technology, and it's used across the globe. It's not just used in the United States. And here in the United States, though, because people are crossing boundaries, more countries are utilizing these technologies, but there are people in power that are like, okay, hey, wait a second. You guys are coming in to because we have like trade agreements, but not necessarily to sit here and like take money out of our country and leave. Like we're the ones this is our country. We've been here. We founded this country. We worked our ass off for it, and there's no way in hell we're giving it up, right? So there's this feud. And then on top of it, there's like crimes against humanity, genocide, trafficking, blah, 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 blah. So that goes on. So anyways, the terrorists that I'm hearing in my head. So I've come to the conclusion that basically this shit times out, right? It's a national security weapon, surveillance technology, and it also has the potential to steer masses of people. It also has the ability to it's a weapon. It can be a weapon. It could be used for medicine. It could be used like it is a highly sophisticated weapon, and it's like AI. It learns upon itself, and every time it gathers more information, the processing speeds, it increases its processing speeds and so on and so forth. So it does a quick scan, and basically it's not enough exposure to cause you any damage. Like they've done the test to the depth on this technology. And they put security measures so that once it's done a scan to make sure that there's no one committing terrorism or stealing or like committing crimes, that are a threat to national security, then it just deposits back into a bank where all the records are held, or these, they're like file folders in your computer. They're stored somewhere, and they're there for whoever to audit, right? If someone were to come back and say, wait a second, I found something, I want to go back and I want to reference, this, that, and the third, right? I want to check the scanner, to see if in fact this person was here at this time or what have you, right? So they're there for people to reference. So these terrorists will sit there and like they're using the weapon, and they're when it wants to time out, they reactivate it by either sending me shock signals, screaming in my head, or doing whatever. And so I sat there and I thought, sorry, it took me like 10 minutes to get here because the bitch is still talking in my head and throwing me off. But anyways, so what I started to think was like, okay, well, they don't want me posting pictures. They don't want me seeing medical professionals. They don't want me, obviously, they don't want me posting pictures, right? They don't want me posting pictures. They don't want me seeking medical attention. They don't want me calling the cops. And then it's like, haha, the cops don't give a shit. They don't even know, haha, like, give it up kind of deal. That's what they really want us to do, which I will not be doing. So I sat there and I'm like, okay, well, but why so much? Like, who in their right mind is going to sit there? And that's, again, came to the conclusion that it times out on its own. So I'm like, okay, so they're sitting here because they're afraid it's going to time out. Maybe they've committed crimes. Maybe they haven't, right? But nobody knows their confidential investigations. Nobody knows who the terrorists were that sat behind the weapon that trafficked me before I heard them talking in my head. Why start talking? Like, why start talking now? Or 8 years ago, technically. But why start talking out of nowhere? Why not just not say any, like, why not just drop it and just leave? Especially if they're throwing, like, Karen this and Karen that. Why not just get up and walk away and like nothing happened? Nobody can hear them where I live. People that have come into my condo don't hear them. My neighbors don't hear them. People at the gym don't hear them. The police officers don't hear them. I can sit in front of Albertsons, and the cameras and the security cameras at Albertsons don't hear them. So it's obvious it's in my head. Right? And then I put my phone down. It's not coming from my phone. My car's not hacked. My computers aren't hacked, because I can sit here and place my phone down and nothing's hacked. So like I've done all the like layers to check it. Like, okay, it's in my head, right? So I'm like, okay, so nobody hears. I don't owe them money. I don't know them. They don't know me. And they don't owe me money. And I mean, no one knows. Like, why in the fuck would you sit and talk in someone's fucking head? And so I started to think, I'm like, okay, well, maybe, because they don't want us to get in front of cameras and tell people that we're hearing voices in our head, and what they really want to do while they can, keep this telepathy technology busy, is to traffic us. And then once they have something on us, then it's like, then at that point they'll let this telepathy technology thing go. And then by that time it's like you're dead, or you're so doped up or whatever, right? So I was like, okay. And I was like, then I'm going to make every video and I'm going to go see the doctor, which I still am going to do. Okay. But then I was just sitting here and I thought to myself, why in the fuck, again, are they talking if no one knows? Like, if they can walk away and no one knows what they're doing, why are they talking in my head? They're confidential investigations. Like, why keep it going? And And then I thought, well, maybe whether or not, and then I thought even like more so, and I'm like, okay, well, let's say, sorry, because I'm all thrown off. I should have wrote this down. I should really write this like a script down and just kind of read it. Um, so I'm bouncing around. So I thought, okay, well, maybe they can hear the terrorists talking in my head, and they can see what they obviously can see what or maybe at the time of while the records or the investigations um being conducted, there's still yet another like another place where there are like security officers that sit there and monitor to make sure these terrorists are conducting um, their their uh, their investigations ethically, right? But then I was like, okay, but why? Okay, so I'm like, if they are, and everybody knows they're terrorists and they're talking in my head, why the fuck aren't they taking them in, right? So I I was like, well, then maybe they don't hear them. And again, oh yeah, and this is what I was saying. I'm so all over the place. I'm gonna have to write this and do it this. I'm posting this and then I'm gonna do it again when I put together a script so it makes sense. So then I thought, okay, well maybe they don't actually hear them at the moment. Let me post. Then I started to think again and I was like, but wait a second, if they don't hear them and they don't see what's going on, why even produce a record for anybody to investigate? And especially if I'm not somebody that you can like you're not going to traffic me. You're not going to shove fucking drugs down my throat. You're not going to fucking do a goddamn thing here. And that's a fucking promise. You'll get sentenced to fucking death, and that's the bottom fucking line. So, and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, like, these bitches are really fucking serial killers, dude. Because, like, what the fuck, bitch? Like, if I'm telling the bitch in my fucking head, like, you fucking stupid whorebag, okay, I already know you're a fucking serial killer. I already fucking know that you bitches committed genocide. I already fucking know they're talking about you all over the fucking news and all over the fucking radio. I already know that they're after you. I know everything I need to know. I know that you don't want me to go put it on my medical records before you have something on me because you want so badly to blame that I have diabetes or I have cancer or I have whatever on like some drug problem. It's like it's obvious, like all of your like, well, and then it's like you don't want it, especially while the investigation is being conducted, because if it's coming out while the investigation is being conducted, then there's like discrepancies in her word versus me going to seek medical attention. And it's like, well, why would someone irresponsible go seek medical attention? Right? So I'm like, okay, you fucking stupid bitch. So I'm like cornering you to fucking get the fuck out of my fucking head, bitch. And I'm making it clear you're going to get fucking sentenced to death one way or the fucking other. And then I thought, okay, well, maybe, like I said, maybe for sure they don't have and like, this is like to the disgust of these terrorists. So I was like, okay, well, maybe, what was I saying? Okay, so they maybe they don't get the records deposited, and I'm going to seek medical attention. Maybe they know I'm being investigated, but they don't know, they can't see what's going on or hear what's going on until they've concluded their investigation. So all I could think was, okay, well, now I'm going to seek medical attention to make it clear that you're talking in my fucking head, so that if anything moving forward happens to me, you bitches are the very first point of reference as to what may have caused my death or my illness or whatever the case is, right? So I'm like, okay, so now I'm cornering you. You're what was I gonna say? Because she played with my head. I said, what was I going to say? I told her, I was like, why talk if they don't know what you're doing? I'm not sick. And I don't like all of the things I mentioned. Plus, there's no record if you're not conducting an investigation here and you're not getting anywhere with me. Like, why intentionally sit here or sit wherever she's sitting behind that computer to create a to destroy her own record. Like, why be put on the map? Why be all of this shit? If there's nothing there, like, why don't you get your fucking stupid bitch ass up and get the fuck out of my fucking, stop talking into my fucking head, you psycho bitch. Like, and I just, in all, like, the logic isn't there. I'm trying to understand. Like, I promise to God, he's playing with my head. As soon as I start stuttering and repeating myself, it's obvious that he's playing with my head. But I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, like, I'm never going to stop telling people that there are Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists and their weird ass families talking in my head saying they committed genocide, war crimes, crimes against humanity. They're going to murder me and they're going to murder my daughter and they murdered my friend Bernadette and they plan them and they, not a trace, not a fucking one photo of Berna anywhere. And all my cute pictures are like of me in my underwear in my room. Or, you know, and I'm just like, I want to see what I look like, or me in a bathing suit, or me, it's like, they're not professional photos, or just me comfortable, but it's like one of my better days, and I'm just like, snap, you know, it's not like a picture where it's like, okay, this is like, I'm glammed up and I'm going somewhere. And they're like, ha 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 ha, you're going to post that? Like, you know, me in the bathroom, taking a picture in the bathroom, you know, mirror. So, it's like not one picture of Bernadette. All my pictures look like your regular casual pictures. I mean, I look good in my pictures. I'm not going to sit here and lie, but they're all casual pictures. And then it's like, and it's just like all like, I'm like, okay, so it's evident like what you guys are intending to do here. Why even sit here? Why sit here? I have my daughter was 7 years old when they started doing this to me. And I'm like, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop going to seek medical attention. I'm not going to stop putting it on my fucking records. I'm not going to stop telling people I hear you bitches in my fucking head. I'm not going to stop calling the police. I'm not going to stop doing any of that. Like, you can go fuck yourselves. Because either way, if they can hear you or they can't. Oh, and this is the other point I was going to get to. I was like, well, if they can hear you, you fucking stupid bitch, why in the fuck, bitches? Why are you fucking talking in my fucking head? And if they can't, why the fuck would you sit somewhere to wait for the record? Like, why? Get the fuck up. Like, I'm cornering you. I'm putting you in this fucking box and I'm done talking, bitches. Like, that's how I feel. I'm like, I'm not fucking playing. I'm going to go seek medical attention. I want everybody to fucking know what they did to my hair. These are Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. I look abused. The bitches have been abusing me. They have been torturing me for 7 fucking years. I want them sentenced to fucking death. And I'm not fucking playing with the fucking bitch. And I'm not going to go chase a fucking whore bag. And I'm not going to fucking, I'm not, like, get the fuck out of here. The bitches say, they're talking in my fucking head. There are records involved. Okay. It times out on its fucking own. The fucking whore bags are now on the map, going back and forth to the house where the computer is at to sit in front of it. So they're in traffic and they have assigned voices, and then it's obvious they're Egyptian American Muslim, and then it's obvious they're and like, it's just like, come on, what the fuck are you bitches doing? Get the fuck out of my fucking head. Like, these bitches are, they're murderers. They're serial killers. I want them sentenced to death. They, like, every time I say, get the fuck out of my head, they laugh. Like it's a joke. And they keep saying like, oh, I fucked you, I raped you, and I impregnated you, and Leah's basically my daughter, and if I want to fucking rape her and use her and drug her and drag her through the fucking mud and say that she's a fucking piece of shit, I can fucking do that. That's what the fuck the bitches are fucking saying in my fucking head. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. I want those fucking, and then if they're doing it to me, what are they doing to Leah? I mean, what ultimately are they saying here? And then these are children, adult children of terrorists that were here before them. That's how they entered this country. They came into this country pretending to be victims of persecution by Muslim regimes, and when they were in fact were the terrorists, and now these bitches are sitting here or sitting wherever they're sitting, and God, what was I gonna say? He's playing with my head because he wants me to stay up. He's a fucking bitch. Because he knows I'm gonna fucking post it. And he's like, he keeps saying, don't fucking do it. I don't give a shit about a bitch. Fucking. There's no way he's gonna fucking stop me from saying what the fuck I want to say. So, what was I saying? Oh, so their parents are terrorists. And it's like, well, the government sat and made sure to follow them around, okay, and make sure that these bitches get convicted, their parents, for the crimes they're committing. And now their kids want to inherit the money because they need a record like mine. They're going to need a record like mine so that they can sentence these terrorists to death. And I'm going to give them every fucking thing they need. Swear to God, swear to God. So, especially because I know the shit time's out. Like, fuck these bitches, dude. I'm gonna fucking find every fucking little, like, excuse my language, I don't curse this much. I'm gonna find every little vulnerability in these technologies that can protect me, that is made a certain, like a security measure, and I'm gonna poke at it until I make it clear that the voices I hear in my head, or that I hear, are in my head, and they're terrorists. And these bitches are they're terrorists talking into my head from a computer from a remote location. And they're using some kind of a surveillance technology. And I'm not going to stop. So, and I'm not going to stop is what what was I saying? Because he's constantly playing with my head. So I'm like, oh yeah. So as far as the vulnerabilities go, I'm not, if I find any other ways, hey everybody, I got a chipped tooth because he's pulling down on my lip. If at all I find any more vulnerabilities, like, all I'm gonna fucking do is smother the shit out of, like, whatever measures I need to take to make it clear that they're terrorists talking in my head. So if it means recording all fucking day and posting it to YouTube, if it means sitting in front of security cameras while they curse me out all day, if it means going into an institution for a few nights and telling them that they, so that it's on my medical records. So just, and then sitting in front of a camera in a medical facility while these bitches talk inside my head. So that they can't turn around and say it was my neighbors, it was the phone, it was something got I want there to be zero fucking discrepancies. Not a goddamn thing for them to fucking, excuse me, he's cussing. Not a goddamn thing for them to argue. And I'm not joking. And I keep telling the terrorists, I have kids. I love my kids. I will do anything on this goddamn planet to protect them. Now, and then the bitch is like, what did she say to me? She was like, just take money, or take the money and go get yourself extensions, or whatever the fuck they say. The bitch is talking in my head, and I was like, well, no, you fucking stupid. Because these fucking whore bags want to go get their boobs done after they've murdered kids and murdered me. They want to go get their fucking boobs done, and they want to go get their hair done, and they want to fucking go buy Mercedes and whatever, what have you, and fucking walk around like they didn't fucking just murder people. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists talking in my fucking head. I don't give a shit. He says I'm drowning in money, but the thing is, he doesn't have a government behind him at all. They don't have anybody at all to protect them. We have the United States that will go chase these terrorists down like dogs. They don't have that shit. So if they don't have this weapon, they don't have shit. And I'm going to make sure they don't have shit. And he knows it. He's talking in my head. He's fucking out of his fucking mind. He's out of his fucking mind going up against me. I swear to God, I'm not fucking playing. He's out of his fucking mind. I'm like calling all nations. I do not give a shit about a fucking piece of shit. This is not that kind of party. The minute those records get deposited, these bitches will be investigated with the same technology. And these bitches are fucking, they're gonna walk like fucking dogs. So the piece of shit doesn't. So I don't give a shit. So every second of the day, he's retarding me, sending shockwaves to my brain, making me dizzy, making my hair fall. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm serious. I'm serious. This is serious. This isn't a joke. But the bitches they're so fucking disgusting. They're the type of bitches that if I was so fucking airheaded that I was like, okay, no, I'm not. Like if they were to say, because they'll sit there and say, you're ugly, you stupid bitch. You're so fucking ugly, you stupid bitch. Haha. Nobody wants you. Nobody wants you. And then what they want from me is to be airheaded and be like, no. Who the fuck cares? You can't stop me. And they want me to go run around and find like any Joe Schmo to go do drugs with because they're like, oh my God, you're going to get caught. You're going to get caught by the cops. And I'm going to sit there and I'm supposed to be airheaded and say, no, I'm not. And nobody cares in this country if we do drugs. And nobody cares. Like I'm supposed to argue with them like I'm some kind of a child. That is what they're hoping. That was what they were intending and thinking that's the response they were going to get from me. And so where was I going with this? I was saying how disgusting they are because what was I saying? I don't know if I made my point or if there was more to it. No, there was definitely more to it. He keeps saying you're all over the place. Oh, what was he saying? He was saying, I don't know. Oh, the laughing. Ha, there you go. Thank you, fag. Sorry, it's not me. He's forcing words out of my mouth. And I can legitimately feel comfortable to say that, and I don't care who in God's name hears me. If these terrorists talking in my head force one word out of my mouth, or force any and cause any commotion, they're gonna, and whether they do or they don't, this is human trafficking on another level. They're getting sentenced to death. They're already after them, so I'm not like, this isn't a game to me. But anyways, so they're so disgusting that the bitches wanted to say, they wanted me so airheaded and with my hair all falling out and with some cheap ass extensions, running around chasing some piece of shit and neglecting my daughter, okay? While they sit there and laugh like, does this bitch know how serious this shit is? Like, that's the type of mentality they have while they're murdering you. The terrorists talking in my fucking head are fucking sick in the fucking head. I'm not fucking playing. Those bitches are fucking trash. And then the women will be like, this is not a joke. This isn't a joke. The women in my fucking head when I'm like, and they know at this point, like, every move I'm making is to sentence them to death. So the bitch is like, okay, the bitches are fucking like, okay, well, we'll just keep threatening you. They got to the point where it's like, they're not laughing. They know I'm done talking. I'm like, fuck you bitches. Fuck those fucking bitches. I swear to God, I'm done talking. Calling all fucking nations. They have money and these bitches are I don't know them. I don't fucking owe them money. These bitches are talking in my fucking head. All right? These are some dirty, low down, stank ass bitches talking in my fucking head. Come and get the loot. That's how I feel. Um, and I want to give everybody the fucking rundown. They're talking in my head, and I mean, my whereabouts are pretty much like within the circle. I'll probably I'll say I'll be at work. I'll be at my grandma's. Like, I'll make it around, for the most part. But you'll find me either at the office, somewhere here in my neighborhood, most likely in my condo. At the stores, you'll find me at the gym. You'll find me picking up and dropping off my daughter. You'll find me, and if we get invited places, which we haven't in a while, and because my mom and my sisters are sick. My sister's sick. She's in Chicago. She's always sick, and she has thyroid problems and Graves' eye disease, and she's studying for her law degree, or now she's actually waiting for her bar exam results to come back. So we're wishing her luck. Plus, and she's awesome. So, but still, nonetheless, she thyroid, diabetes, just, and it's like she's tired and she's working and she lives in Chicago, so she could be next to her son and she has nobody out there. And then I have, my other sister who has 2 kids and she's super busy. And then I have my youngest sister she's in med school, and my son is now in college. Like, we're busy, so it's not like we're out partying. Like, my family is not. And honestly, we really, all we've done is go through hard times. My dad had coronary heart disease for how long? 13 years? From the time he was 37, for 13 years, get real, 37, 47, 57, and he died at 63. 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 2. Was he 63? Yeah. Was it 20? I'll have to do the math later. But, I mean, the best part of his life. He had heart, and the terrorists talking in my head they keep saying they gave him a heart attack. They're the ones who gave him a heart attack. And my mom, with 4 girls, thinking my husband can die any day now. What the fuck do I do? Working her fucking ass off. And then with the daughter who I was being trafficked around and raped and abused. And then my sister who has diabetes. And then, she has my youngest sister who's 14 years younger than I am. And she's just my mom was flipping her wig, I'm sure. What in the God's name happened to my life? And then my dad passes away, and it's okay, we want to go through the mourning period of really, it's just that mourning period. You just want to mourn the people that you lose. And instead, these bitches start talking in my fucking head. And raping me over and over and over and over again. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. They thought I would be too embarrassed to say this. I want them sentenced to fucking death. They're talking in my head. And to anybody who knows, you know. If you don't, oh well, I don't care. Judge me one of these days. This will all come out. This is water under the bridge as far as I'm concerned. Anyways, I want them sentenced to death. He keeps making my hair fall out right here. I can feel it. It feels like this tickling feeling. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. And like I was saying, and their husbands and their dads and their brothers, and they want to get back behind this weapon because there's no government on the face of this planet that will stand behind these terrorists. Nobody's saying Muslim anything at all. No one's, no one thinks like this isn't, they're terrorists. No one's gonna stand behind them. They're terrorists. That's all there is to it. And their only means of protection is this telepathy technology. And these bitches have run the fucking like, and they're serious. Like this bitch, one of them who sounds like the biggest bitch of them all. Like, oh, this is a fucking joke. This bitch is fucking like, we're facing the death penalty. She thinks I give a shit if she fucking dies. Retard. Go fucking die, bitch. That's what all he keeps doing, and is sending shockwaves to my head, like making me like black out. Anyways, it's funny how I'm like up right now, but during the day while I'm working, I'm exhausted because they keep playing with my brain activity and making me tired, or blurring my vision, or talking really loud so that I can't read, or trying to get me to occupy my phone so that I can't, so that I want to record them and I'm not on my phone making calls like I should be. It's just, this is like ongoing bullshit. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists, and their weird families terrorists, and their weird families talking in my head. And it sounds to me like, I mean, oh, and what was I saying about the money? Oh, I was going to touch bases on that, and I think like I'm all over the place. So these terrorists came, their parents, were the ones who basically like, they manipulated the whole narrative to make it into this country. And I guess they think they're entitled to whatever the fuck they want. So their kids, I think I did touch basis on this. So instead of their kids caring that their parents murdered people's kids and wanting to work and provide for their families on their own, they want to inherit the money and to like find a way to manipulate the records and get their kids free of this bullshit, and they don't care who dies in the fucking process, because apparently they're fucking bitch ass fucking whorebag moms and their bitch ass fucking whorebag dads sat there fucking showing them like how much money they had. So like flashing, I mean, what with like a 40-year-old fucking man or 50-year-old man, and like you're flashing, or you know, however old these fucking bastards are, 30s, then you're flashing like, who knows, millions, hundreds of millions, close to a billion, a billion, maybe more, who knows? Like I couldn't tell you to the extent, but it's obviously enough to make them flip their fucking lids to go fucking murder people. They're talking in my head. They hit 2 kids, Mark and Jacob Iskander, with a fucking car. They keep saying they murdered my friend Bernadette. They murdered, and they did, and I know they did. They murdered Daniel Atkins and the girl that was with him, and they murdered Amin and Sarah Sad, and they murdered D'Lo, and they murdered Le'Veon, and it's like, and I'm like, so the men like flipped their fucking lids obviously over the money, their sons, and it was like, don't worry to their daughters, like and of course they're spending any way they fucking want, like, and it's like they feel loved. So they don't fucking care what their stupid brothers and their stupid dads and their stupid sons are doing to our families. And now it's like they add layers to it. So now they're being like, people are investigating and wanting to sentence them to death because it's obvious everything that they're trying to do here. And then on top of it, to continue to sit behind this weapon, and then to give their kids the money. So all that's on my mind is like, I'm fucking 40 years old, bitches. I don't have a fucking dime to my name. You fucking hurt every opportunity I have. And here's the crossroads, bitches. I want my fucking money in court. I want to sentence you bitches to death. I want your kids to go figure out their own way. And I want to spoil the shit out of my fucking kids and enjoy whatever part of the rest of our lives that we have that I can. I missed their whole childhood because of these terrorist bitches. And they're laughing. They're not crying. They're not hurt over my pain because they're getting sentenced to death and they're like, fuck you. And then the more I'm like, well, then fuck you. And I fucking mean it. The more they say fuck you, hoping that they'll fucking get me to back down. I'm not backing down for the life of me. I swear to God, I'm pushing up so hard. These bitches are getting convicted whether they like it or not. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists and they're terrorist ass families. And I don't give a shit who the fuck knows it. Who the fuck thinks I'm crazy. This is over. I want these bitches sentenced to fucking death and I'm not fucking playing. Because I'm like, dude, why murder me? Like, after everything he's done, all I want to do now is like, now I'm like, I want to just love my daughter. I want to hug her. Some days, like, they fill her with this bad energy, with this toxic, like, the weapon, like, it's whatever it is that it exposes you to is a toxin, and it's like vibrates at such a high, like, uncomfortable level. It makes you want to scream. And I know when they do it, I've done it myself. Like, it's like she screams at the top of her lungs and she's super fucking sensitive and she's only fucking 14 and these bitches have no remorse whatsoever. And all I keep thinking is she's 3 years shy of graduating high school. If my daughter does not have at least a high school experience. Okay, my son didn't get either, nothing. He didn't get shit. Luckily, he's doing well in school, but oh my fucking God. These bitches made me miss 7 years of his fucking life. And now he's an adult. There is nothing on this fucking planet that's gonna stop me from sentencing these fucking bitches. I swear to fucking God. He said dog. I swear to fucking God. I'm sorry. But that piece of shit that's talking in my head that thinks if he's gonna do what he does, that's one thing. But this piece of shit is not my dad. He's trying to daddy me. Like, tell me what the fuck to do. Like, this is fucking insane. Like, really, like, they're like delusional, sick people. Like, they actually think Leah is there for them to just use at their disposal. And same with me. And same with my friend Bernadette. Because they want money and they want power. There is no way in fucking hell I want those bitches to fucking die. They didn't they didn't lift a fucking finger, not a scratch on these bitches, nothing. And by the way, so there was not one scratch on me, and he said, because there's no scratches on me. So, and by scratches he means my record's not fucked. I bounce back pretty quickly from the times that I had bad relationships, and I kind of let myself go. And it was like, okay, I got to the gym, I made myself up, and voila, I was like a brand new person. And then it was like, okay, we couldn't get this bitch. Let's just like rip her to fucking shreds. And it's like one scratch after the other. And constantly, it's like, you're fucking ugly. Haha, your hair fell out. You stupid bitch. You stupid. And it's the women on top of it laughing when they say it because it's like they want to pour salt into an open wound. And staring at me naked while I'm in the mirror. Like, they can see through my eyes to see me, and the men will sit there and like, haha, we ruined your mommy makeover. Oh, what did you think you were gonna fucking like look like one of them? One of these gorgeous women? You fucking wish, you stupid bitch. They're terrorists talking in my fucking head. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. I want those fucking bitches sentenced to fucking death. Do you hear me? You thought you were going to have a relationship? You fucking wish, you stupid bitch. With one of them? That's what the men are saying in my head. After this, and hurting my daughter and not having a dime to my name. And who does that affect? My kids. These bitches are fucking pedophiles. These bitches are rapists. I was screaming at the top of my lungs today. Today's my birthday, mind you. I was screaming at the top of my fucking lungs because I was so grossed out. They're fucking rapists. I want them to fucking die because sex is so watered down to them, because they're like, all that's on their mind is money. They're like, we could have whoever the fuck we want if we have the money and we have this weapon. So it's like, and then, so what if this bitch fucking, like, we destroy her? Like, there's not going to be a million more fucking gorgeous women, even if she is gorgeous or the most gorgeous. Just for now. That's their mentality. And I was going to say something else and I got thrown off. But, oh, yeah. And like I said, it's like, and I remember, obviously I remember it was right around the time my dad was passing, and I was like, Mom, I want to show Dad before it passes, and just like, my kids are gonna need some security, and my dad was my everything, and I was like, oh my, and my mom were not on good terms, and I was like, what in the fuck am I gonna do? And I had sat and I cried and I was like, Mom, I just want to get my life together. And I wasn't even doing anything. I wasn't even doing drugs. Like, I kept saying, that piece of shit kept saying, not a scratch on this fucking bitch. No drugs, no alcohol, no catching, no venereal diseases, no sleeping around, no nothing. He doesn't have shit on me because I'm not the type. And, and I was like, I'm just like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why I'm not making progress. And I want to find a relationship. I want to be happy. I want to move forward. I want to excel in my career. I want to go back to school. I want to start going back to church regularly. I miss my old friends. I want to see them again. I want all of this for my life, and I want to find me a good man, and if possible, have another child. Like, all of this, I was telling my mom, and I was so open and vulnerable, and the terrorists talking in my head heard every fucking word, and they made sure to destroy everything, and they wanted to destroy everything in sight. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. I want them sentenced to fucking death. Their fucking parents, the bitches talking in my head, their moms are fucking whores and pedophiles. They've been raping me since I was 6 years old. I swear to God. And I'm not saying like my dad raped me, but I mean like getting in my head. I remember having a very vivid dream, and I was a child, and there was this man in my dream, and he had me in a straitjacket, and he kept fingering me in this dream. And then it was like, and I was like a child. I was a baby. So it was like, we're going to start like raping Renee around like 16. Like, that's the message he was sending someone else. And then it's like, and they do it when you're young, so you don't know what you're hearing in your head, and you can't say it's schizophrenia. You're like, it's my invisible friend, or it's a dream, or you don't like really take notice as to what is going on. So they like, and then 16, and I'm thinking like every fucking thing that happened was because of them. The car accident, there was a fork incident where it landed in my arm. There was there was a guy who stalked me from my work, and my dad had left to go to the monastery, and this guy followed me from work, found where I lived, and waited for my dad to leave and made it inside my and my parents were separated at the time temporarily, and they were just taking a break, and I moved in with my dad, and he came into my apartment and started to molest me. And I keep thinking, and the way the terrorists, they're like, you're ugly, haha, you're a fucking stupid bitch, you're whatever, your friend, whoever, and I'm not going to say any names, but somebody that I was talking to, I was like, this is never going to go anywhere with, and I just stopped talking to. They're like, haha, your friend is going to find someone better, your friend who isn't making any progress. It's like that relationship will just be nothing but bullshit and toxic. Like, it'll eventually get there because neither of us is improving in our lives. But I mean, I have a legitimate reason. I mean, I don't know what his is, and and who knows? Maybe he's being trafficked. I have no idea, but I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to entertain it. Fuck that. And these bitches in my head are like, oh, he's such a fucking loser. Like, they want me to argue. Like, okay, no, he's not. He's a great person. You're the terrorist. And that's why and then that's the other reasons as to why they tell me the shit that they've done. They're Egyptian, American, Muslim women I promise to God, these bitches are the most disgusting fucking whores on the face of this fucking planet. I want them sentenced to death more than I have ever wanted anything in my goddamn life. More than anything I have ever wanted in my fucking life. And like, I've never had an actual relationship. I have never like any goals that I wanted to pursue or nothing. When I'm reading, they're talking or they're playing with my brain so I can't remember anything, or so that I get confused, or so that I start stuttering. And when I sound I want those bitches to die. I'm not fucking playing. There's no way in fucking hell. The terrorists talking in my head are Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists, and they live in California. I want them sentenced to death. The men are fucking disgusting trash. Any woman that stands behind those fucking psycho piece of shits is a piece of shit and needs to be sentenced to death. There's no fucking way you're right from mine. They murdered Nancy Skander's sons, and they framed Rebecca Grossman, who is sitting in prison right now. Another case where, and I'm starting to pick up on like this shit because I'm like, this shit doesn't even make sense. Like, there are people crying, okay, after murdering people. They don't sound crazy. They sound like they were trafficked and they woke up like out of this like trance that they were in and realized like, oh my fucking God, what the fuck happened? And they're crying and crying and crying and crying over these people. And like, it's obvious they're all fucking victims of the crimes these terrorists talking in my head are committing. A man was, he like, you see him, I saw the video over and over again on YouTube, like hysterically crying. He's like, I don't know what took control of me. Something made me pick this. I didn't have control. And he's crying and he's shaking and he's crying. And, oh my God, I murdered, and like crying and crying. And I'm like, what the fuck? There's no way. And then I'm watching another video and it's like, Ali Abu Leben doesn't make sense. I'm like, this guy is not a fucking murderer. Like, he doesn't look like a fucking murderer. He doesn't give that murderer demeanor. He's not, like, he doesn't give it off. he's not like out of his mind. And then it's like they don't give that off. And then you hear like Jeffrey Dahmer stories and shit like that, and you're like, okay, in comparison, like this doesn't make sense. This isn't like a Jeffrey Dahmer situation. And you're like, oh my God. Although now think Jeffrey Dahmer was being trafficked. And so were his victims. And they keep making and they keep highlighting these murder cases on Netflix and on Hulu and everywhere. The cases that they're really like, okay, this is some psychotic shit. These terrorists talking not just them, but their weird ass organization of people. Like, this is like far out, and they want to know, like, are people really like that evil? I mean, can they withstand all that's kind of disturbing, like traumatizing for a person to do by hand, to sit there and like put someone's body in a can of acid and then live in the apartment with that reeking smell and you're not there at all, but you're intelligent and you go to work and you're educated, like you're a professional. It just, I don't know, shit that doesn't add up. This isn't like a kid that has autism and just all of a sudden has a freak out because he thinks he's being attacked or something and like misunderstands somebody's and starts defending himself. This isn't, there are stories that just don't make sense, right? And so anyways, it's just like they keep saying that they've done all this shit, and I believe it. I just when I start to explain, like, okay, when I start to get further into how I think they mask things, and I still, like, I'm barely hitting the rim of that, and I'm just not even sure if my conclusions are right, but there is a way to camouflage it. I just don't think I'm somebody that they can do that with. And so with the platform that I have, there's no way in fucking hell I'm dropping the ball on this. I want them sentenced to fucking death. They are Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. They're talking in my head. They're murdering me. Them, their dads, their brothers, their friends in this terrorist organizations. I don't know if they're uncles, their cousins. Like, I couldn't tell you. But I know that their family is involved. I mean, I don't know how, like, deep into their families they are. Like, I mean, they gotta get married and have kids, so it's not like... So, anyways, whatever. It's like, it's a terrorist organization. They're losing their fucking minds to have the possession of this weapon. I want them sentenced to death over my fucking dead body. There is no way in fucking hell. She said, that's exactly what I said. And I promise to God that bitch isn't getting shit over my dead body but the death penalty. Honest to God, I'm done fucking talking. They keep saying my daughter's name. They want to murder my daughter, raping kids, and just... shit is fucking out of control. And then they want to take the money, and after they've seen me beg and cry and you, like, yearn for a relationship and yearn for happiness, and like the second that they didn't talk yesterday morning, and I was like, oh my God, like, I can feel like, oh my God, my body is like, it's actually relaxed. And then and I realized, like, nobody feels like the level of stress that they're putting on my body. And no wonder they don't, like, I sound so crazy because I hear them all the time. So I start to feel like maybe I'll be passionate enough to get them to understand, but they don't, because it's just, the world around me looks so calm, and it is. It actually is. Everyone around me is fucking awesome. Like, they're not. But anyways, it was just... Um, it's just like I feel alone, and I'm trying to get to it. And he's laughing like she can't even gather her fucking thoughts. She's a retard because he's abusing me with this weapon, not because I'm retarded. Because if I was, he wouldn't fucking need to do that shit. He's a piece of shit, psycho piece of shit. He's a terrorist talking in my fucking head. He said I would have cracked your head open. I'm done talking. I want him. I want the women sentenced to fucking death, and I'm not fucking playing. I want him. That piece of shit. I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking teach him what his mom didn't, and that's a fucking promise. I'm not joking. I want them all sentenced to death. I know the women that are on my side. I know the potential. I'm not even the potential. I know the positions they hold. She said potential. It's not me. I know the positions they hold. I know the respect people have for them. I know that they're worth a lot more than they say. I know, like it's not. And those are the ones I'm really like, and I know what they want. They want to sentence them to death, and so the fuck do I. And all I want to do is line myself up with them. Um, the men are gonna get. I wanna rip their fucking hearts out. I'm not fucking playing. They rip my heart to shreds. They rip my heart to shreds, and I wanna rip their fucking hearts out. And now the women are saying, oh well, because they want so badly for someone to feel sorry for them. Like if I'm telling the bitch, like nobody knows she's talking in my fucking head, and to you who don't know, you don't know, but to those who do, you understand. I'm making it clear that I hear them in my fucking head. If the bitch doesn't want to get sentenced to death, then why would they murder? Why would if the bitch doesn't want to get if the bitches don't want to get sentenced to death, why are they talking in my head? Why are they doing any of this? I mean, I'm not airheaded enough to let them get away with it. Like it's not I'm not airheaded and I'm not a whore. So all fucking options in that regard are wiped off the table. So I don't know what else like to say. Like what do you mean? Oh well, like honey, you just sat here or you're talking in my head saying you guys are going to get sentenced to death. I hear it on the radio. Stop playing. Like what? What do you mean? Oh well, stop talking in my fucking head. I'm not playing. I swear to God, if they don't fucking get out of my head, all I'm gonna do is make sure that they can compile records to sentence these bitches to death. This is gonna be the record of a lifetime. I want them to have everything they fucking need. Anyways, um, I'm going to bed. It's way past the time that I said I would go to bed. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 11:37 p.m.
Oh yeah, and my daughter's still up too. All right. Have a good night.